My toxic trait, a guy will literally tell me that he can't give me what I want, what I need, what I deserve, and I will not believe him.
You know, you could be a good dude, but the thing is, women want you to have the option to be able to go elsewhere. Like I said in a prior video, this is the thing. Even when they have a guy, right? Even when they have him, if he doesn't have the ability to go elsewhere, it's a turnoff. They got with him. He was a safe bet. When they first meet you, if it doesn't feel as though you got that charm, you're not really thrilling to them, they're 9 times out of 10 gonna be like, you gotta do a little bit more or we'll put you on the back burner. But let's look at what happens when a woman actually has the guy.
My husband and I were together for 8 years, 4 years dating, 4 years married, and I decided to move out in February. And do you want to know how many times in the now 3 months that we've been separated that he's begged me to come back, told me how much he loves me, how much he wants to make it work, how much he misses me and our dog? 0 times has he tried. It actually took less than a week for me or less than a week from me moving out for him to be on Tinder. So I am just, continuing on, and he obviously doesn't give a shit about me. So with every day that passes, I'm more and more sure of my decision to file for divorce. In my head, my heart is still catching up, but it'll get there. And I think my intention with sharing this with you is just being vulnerable. And maybe the internet isn't always the best place, but in the times that I have chosen to be vulnerable with people are some of the best moments that I've had in making friends, in meeting new people. So I think there is value to sharing what I'm going through, because maybe I can help somebody else not go through the same thing. So yeah, he obviously doesn't want me back, and I'm not going back. So this is my life now.
This is what I meant before with, they'll put you in this category of he can do more. And then as you're doing more, nobody's doing anything, so she'll settle with you. She's not expecting you to go anywhere. This is where dudes who are good men with good character, we're not talking about nice guys, even though they always have this thing of nice guy, good men. No, it's not that. They go with the good dude, right? And then they'll try to bounce on him, and they want him to be broken up about it because he's the safe bet. The guy that they wanted that has the options, they settled for this guy. Now this guy's not broken up about it. He goes elsewhere. He's done with the mind games. He's on Tinder, and she's like, damn, he didn't even fight for me. He didn't beg for me to come back. Why would he have to do that? 8 years down the drain. You think he's gonna let you waste more of his time? And this is a common thing. If you see it all the time, men are like, damn, I woke up one day, she doesn't have feelings for me anymore. There's somebody else in the situation. She's saying we grew apart. She's saying she needs to go find herself. And we all know what that means. But she didn't think that this was going to happen. Go, move out. Move all the way out of his life. Because you wasted so much time for no reason based on how you feel and not what is. It is what it is. Let's get the next one.
It's so hard trying to move on from a breakup where nothing was really wrong. Usually I can say something like, oh, you deserve better. At least you don't have to put up with this anymore. Or at least we can move on from this. But there was no fight. There was nothing wrong. He is such an incredible man. And whoever gets to marry him is such a lucky woman. And we still love each other so much. It's just, we don't want the same futures. And it's so hard. And it's hard convincing myself to move on and convincing myself to get over it, because everything reminds me of him, and he's so much better than everybody else. He's so respectful and good and kind. And when I'm surrounded by other people who do all the bad things he never did and don't do any of the good things that he always did, I'm just like, oh, Am I gonna regret this forever?
Once again, I told you, see, it's so hard to move on from the good guy. You know why? Because there's a built-in excuse with the guy who's emotionally unavailable. There's a built-in excuse. So, you know, she'll get the double dip. She'll get sympathy from her friends and from her family. But at the same time, right, and simps, you know, when you're dealing with a good dude who everybody knows is a good dude, everybody's going to look at you and say, damn, there's more than meets the eye here. And that's a thing that they don't know how to explain away. That's why they go for the dudes who you're like, he's not going to be good for you. And they know it. They know it. But they go for those guys because it's a built-in excuse. Good men are tired of the games because, see, then they come back out here and they try to go after good dudes when things don't work out. But the good dudes by then are, you know, you're mature now. You're well seasoned. And you're like, I can see right through you. But it's always so hard breaking up with the good dude. And she says something in there, right? She's like, the people I'm around now that don't do any of the good things that he did and do bad things that he would never do, i.e., you have to decode, right? I'm around guys who are not willing to put in as much effort as he was willing to put in. She's making it seem like people. People means men. She's getting smashed and dashed. Reminiscing now about the good dudes. Knock it off. Let's get the next one.
You know you've leveled up and you healed when you gather the courage to end it with a good guy. And let me elaborate. قد في منا بيكونوا بعلاقة مع حدا شخص كتير منيح، شخص عن جد كتير منيح، بيعقد. But deep down we know إنه هالشخص منه مناسبنا. But we stick around because he is that good guy, that great guy. Right? Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about someone you're in love with, like someone you deeply, deeply love, but you just know you deserve so much more. He's a great guy, but there's an intellectual gap between you two. He's a great guy, but you've never felt more lonely having a conversation with him. He's a good guy, but you don't have the same interests. He's someone you're madly in love with, but you have to sometimes make yourself a little bit smaller for him to be able to grasp you. He is a good guy, but he lacks ambition in the categories you care about. In my opinion, ending it with the good guy is a big, big form of self-love, and it really reflects your self-worth and what you think of yourself, and that you are fully leveling up and ready to level up. I really think that maturing is realizing that it's so much better to feel lonely by yourself than lonely with someone else, someone siphoning your energy and your time.
How can you be in love with someone and all of these things are holding you back and blah, 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 blah? This psychobabble that she's doing is trying to justify why she's leaving the good dude. That's it. Because once again, there's no real rational, sane reason why you're leaving him other than you don't feel a certain type of way. You're not getting what you deserve. How could you be in love with someone and think that you deserve more? How does that make sense? You know, I try to tell guys, the hardest thing to get rid of is a woman that's in love with you. So how are you just willing to up and leave? So easy. Knock it off. Why are you telling the world? Because she's trying to justify why she's breaking up a family, breaking up a home, breaking up the relationship, whatever. Because when you have kids and when you get together with somebody, their family becomes your family. You know what I'm saying? Your family becomes their family. Now the whole picture is getting ripped in half and she has to justify why she's doing it. That's all that's happening here. Don't ever go for this. It's nonsense. Let's get the next one.
Super toxic woman. I am so sorry. So yes, you can be too nice. I recently was on a date with a guy. I was so bored. He was too nice to me. Conversation was not fueled with anything. Normal conversation just felt a little flat. But then he insulted me, said something offensive. It wasn't really an insult, but really insensitive cultural question. Insensitive. And I got so offended. Should I be offended right now? I can't believe you just asked me that. I was like, you are so uncultured. You need to educate yourself. And da-da-da. And he just held me. He held me. And he was like, I know. He was like, you're right. I am. I was so confused. Body was confused because this gorgeous man is holding me after he just kind of insulted me. He's admitting that he's uncultured, and it was kind of hot that he was admitting it. And he was like, you're right. You're so right. Oh my God. But yes, if a woman seems bored with you, like if you're really sitting there and you can tell she's just antsy and bored, maybe you say something a little controversial. When she calls you out and calls you an asshole, you say, I know.
I like this clip because this perfectly illustrates when you don't care about what a woman wants, and not in like a mean, negative way, right? When you're focused on what you want, that's when your personality, that's when you truly shine. She's talking about, you know, this guy was too nice until he insulted her. No, it's not even that he insulted her. He just actually said what he wanted to say, and that piqued her interest because most guys are going to be, you know, trying to be on their best behavior like she's their mother on a date. Or when you're talking to a woman, no, say what you want to say. But you see how that piqued her interest? The biggest hindrance to a man's game is actually giving a damn whether she's going to accept something or not. Because the woman for you will just accept it if she's into you. So in this clip, it's funny that she's like, I thought he was this way until he did this, and now I'm looking at him like that. No. The thing is, he's being himself, and now you like him for being himself. You thought he was trying to be something else when he was just being polite to you. That's crazy work, but it just goes to show you, bro, no matter how nice that you are to them or polite or respectful, it doesn't matter if they're not seeing you for you, speaking how you want to speak. Don't ever bow down to these chicks.